It is just before dawn at the Kumbh Mela, and the sweepers are clearing up the mess made by the 5 million people now camping here. There are about 7,000 street cleaners here, and they're all members of the lower caste.
We get 70 pence a day, and the hours are 5 till 11 and 2 till 5. Sometimes we have to work at night. I'm having a hard time at this Kumbh because I don't get my money on time. We bathed yesterday, but not today. We'll bathe again in the coming days. There are 12 of us from our village, and now that we are here, we are feeling good. Whether we like it or not, we have to work.
Sarita Sajivan's family have come from the Chitrakut district, about 100 miles away. There are 7 of them, and they're all from the Shudra caste, the lowest caste.
Sadhus get money, but we get nothing from the pilgrims. They chase us away. We get only 68p a day, and they give us nothing to eat. The big people get the big tents, and we little people get the small tents. We serve you, cleaning up the shit with our own hands. Doing work that no one wants to do, we should be paid more. We wanted to help our children get a good education and regular employment, but how can we survive?
Thousands of children every day are lost in the massive crowds at the Kumbh Mela. A system of 3,000 loudspeakers does its best to cope, but the problem is as vast as the site itself. The police lost and found centre is overwhelmed every day of the festival. At Sunday's mass bathing, 5,600 were lost in a single day. Children and the elderly are most at risk. Many children don't even know their parents' names.
He says his name is Chotu. Mother or father, he's not telling us anything.
Children like Penga can do nothing but wait, but he's just one of thousands. 1 year ago, 99-year-old Bhavani Das Ji made an amazing prediction.
About a year ago, he went to Jharkhand. That was when he said that he would give up his body. He felt sick in the village, and then he told 40-50 villagers that on 14th of January at the Kumbh Mela, he would take a bath and then give up his body.
Yesterday morning, Bhavani Das Ji died, 1 day after bathing at the Kumbh Mela, exactly as he foretold. His disciples say this proves the greatness of his spiritual powers and his sainthood. An ambulance carried Bhavani Das Ji to his final resting place.
This really makes you believe that there is something in it. He had an intuition. He foretold his death. We are medical doctors, but sometimes we have to believe these things.
Upstream from the Kumbh Mela, poor families are permitted to cremate their dead on the banks of the Ganges. Like all sadhus, Bhavani Das Ji owned nothing. His disciples are also poor, and so took on the task of cremating their guru's body themselves.
हम तो यही जानते हैं कि संसार में सब मरते हैं, सब इस जन्म को बदलते हैं, कायाकल्प को सिद्ध भगवान के चरणों में गए कि जो है अस्थि यहाँ जल रही है, उनने समाधि लिया। सब यात्रा है, समझ लीजिए अब आप।
Cremation is almost unknown for sadhus who are set adrift on rivers when they die. By ordering his disciples to cremate him, Bhavani Das Ji has revealed that for him, the cycle of birth and death has ended. He will not be reincarnated.
This had to happen. In fact, it's very fortunate that this happened at a pilgrimage at the Kumbh Mela. He has achieved salvation.
The system at Lost and Found usually succeeds in reuniting children with their parents. Penga spent an anxious night in the shelter, but his grandmother turned up to claim him.
You'll recognize him.
I lost him yesterday. I've really been worried about him.
Hold him tightly, okay? And listen, don't run away anywhere. Don't leave your granny or somebody will take you away.
What if somebody takes him away?
Hold on to him tightly. Yes, hold him.
May God bless you.
Illiteracy compounds the problem. Penga's grandmother can neither read nor write. For Choto, it's the third night in the shelter.
Om Jai Gange Mata, Maya Jai Gange Mata.
Bhavani Das Ji's devotees say a puja or prayer for the soul of their beloved Guru.
Manavanchita Phalapata, Om Jaya Gange Mata, Chandra si Jyota Tumari, Jala Niramalayata, Maya Jala Niramalayata.
The Kumbh Mela is a festival of prayer, blessing and ritual. Hindus have a direct relationship with God. Through personal prayer rituals, puja, or the blessings of holy men or women, offerings become sacred, the prasad. Puja is central to the daily lives of Hindus. Prasad, blessing, is ever present. The Shankaracharya is one of India's most important sadhus. When he arrived at the Kumbh Mela today, thousands flocked to him to make offerings. In return, he bestowed blessings. The blessing of a holy man transformed these offerings into prasad. They are usually sweets, but can be anything: food, ashes from the holy fire, or even rain. The Shankaracharya is so holy that no one touches him or breathes upon him. Instead, offerings are placed on his sandals, which symbolize his footprints in the sand. The blessed offerings return as prasad to the devotees.
The significance of the prasad is that it is a blessing from the God from whom we seek to gain something.
Receiving prasad from this enlightened soul is like receiving it from the Supreme Spirit. It's a force.
Jyoti the boatman from Varanasi has travelled for 10 days to be here at the Kumbh.
After I pray, I feel peaceful and confident. I then know that God will bless me in whatever I do, and I'll be successful in my work. That's why, from ancient times, people have been praying.
Jyoti's shopping for essential ingredients for puja. a ritual in which offerings are made that connect Hindus directly to God. What's offered becomes blessed and transformed into sacred prasad. The most common things to offer as part of puja are vermilion, garlands, petals, coconuts and sweets, but you can also buy off-the-shelf kits. Sri Rambappa always comes from Britain to attend the Kumbh. His offering to God is to pass among the pilgrims and give them food and clothing. It's a huge operation. His grandson also comes over to help.
You never ever principally get the opportunity to actually serve genuinely poor and needy people with your own hand. The experience is actually extremely rewarding.
The kitchens employ nearly 100 helpers and provide 3-course meals for up to 15,000 people a day.
His philosophy has always been that God resides within every single human being, and by serving every human being, you're actually serving the Lord.
Sri Rambappa is not a sadhu, but in India he's considered a saint.
I feel like a king because I have peace, and that peace comes from giving. You could have millions, but it wouldn't buy you the peace I feel. If anyone came and said, "My children are cold," I would give them these. I don't want to refuse anybody anything because I don't pay. I'm just like you, a servant. I do a job for my boss.
I'm servant. I do job for my boss.
Prasad is food that has been offered to God. In this case, it's Hanumanji. And once that food has been offered to God, it has that power inside it. With those blessings of this prasad, that the food would never run out, be there 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people, the food will just keep on coming.
Murti Ram Baba ki! Murti Ram Baba ki! Durga Mata ki!
Mathur Krishnamurthy is a scholar from southern India. He's visiting the Kumbh Mela to bathe.
This place is the holiest of the holy places in India. On this occasion we come here and bathe. After we take a bath here, we have to offer our prayers to Mother Ganga, in a way thanking her for feeding millions of Indians. This offering of milk, it symbolizes that we are fed by Mother Ganga, just like mother feeds her babes with breast milk. That is the meaning of that.
He's staying at a house on the banks of the Ganges belonging to one of the richest families in India. Mrs. Priyamvada Devi Birla has many visitors at this time.
I never invite anyone. They invite themselves. They tell me that we would like to come, then they are welcome.
Hindus believe the richer you are, the more you should offer to the gods. Her family runs many charities in India, including schools and welfare centers.
I have to leave it from my heart. Even if I leave it and if I remember it, it's good. We are trying to do some service to God.
The wealth itself is not bad. The wealth one has to acquire. But how you make use of the wealth is the question.
And with millions of people sleeping out at the Kumbh Mela, Mrs. Birla knows her place in the grand scheme of things.
I think they are greater people. They accept inconvenience and still they come and stay there. They are greater. Their sacrifices are greater than ours. We are staying in comfort.
Jyoti is now preparing for his puja on the Ganges.
Before the puja, one should purify oneself by taking a bath. Ganga is a sacred river, so once you've bathed in her holy waters, your sins get washed away and your prayers will be considered holy. You see, this boat is my livelihood and I'll make prayers to it so that I continue to earn successfully. I pray that my boat keeps sailing and that I continue to get God's blessings. After the prayers, my soul feels peaceful. Gods and goddesses show me the way.
It's day 10 of the Kumbh Mela. The biggest bathing day is a week away when up to 25 million people are expected. Every day, the canvas city continues to grow. Pilot Baba is a renowned guru. As a young man, he was a wing commander in the Indian Air Force. According to legend, he once saw a flying yogi overtake his jet in mid-air, an experience which set him on the spiritual path.
I am the God, and I belongs to God, but my personality is not a God.
His natural charisma has attracted a large group of international followers.
We have come here to see Pilot Baba. Once he came through California, and we were studying with him there. And he is a very advanced yogi, and we've learned many things, and he has also a wonderful heart. But he is also demonstrating that we can go far beyond what we usually think of in our ordinary consciousness.
Guru has many qualities, but he's not God. He's a human being with special strength, and he's got so much power that he can guide others. If I learn something from you, you are my Guru. Whoever teaches me something is my Guru. A Guru has achieved greatness, but he's not God.
He means a doorway to the infinite, and a very bright light that opens the heart and the mind to seeing God and waking up that the material reality isn't the only reality that there is.
Keiko is a guru from Japan. Keiko travels and teaches with Pilot Baba. Like him, she is recognized as a fully realized, enlightened being. Enlightenment can bring miraculous abilities. Pilot Baba's disciples claim he once stayed underwater for 6 days without surfacing. Keiko will be demonstrating her own spiritual powers at the Kumbh Mela. On the 20th of January, Keiko will be buried alive in this pit. She will remain there for 4 days. These are Naths, a sect of Hindu holy men who achieve enlightenment through yoga and what they call yoga.
I am Yogi Vilasnath. Yogi Anantnath Ji is my guru, and I have been with him since my childhood. While I was meditating with him, I was inspired from within, and so he initiated me.
I watch the TV programs from all over the world, and yoga is very popular.
Yoga or yoga.
But there is a difference between yoga and yoga. Yoga makes you physically fit and disease-free so that you may receive yoga.
जिससे जिससे कि उसके अंतर चक्षु खुल जाए।
Yoga is different. It is meditating so as to open the inner eye and receive knowledge and truth.
Among the new arrivals at the Kumbh is Kali Baba.
Los Angeles is where my cultural center is there. And I left there on the 12th, coming here, I got here on the 14th. It was like traveling for, 18 hours, flying, laying over.
Kali Baba is from California, but he is also a member of the African Maasai tribe. Although a high school dropout, he has an honorary doctorate in theology and metaphysics from UCLA. Several years ago, he had a vision of Kali, the Indian goddess.
Kali came to me and told me that she was my teacher, told me that she was my guru. I didn't know who she was, but I came to understand who she was. At first, it was very frightening. Then she began to show herself to me in many different ways. In Africa, they call her Oya. In Hawaii, she's called Pele. In Israel, she's called Lalith. So she's everywhere.
Africa, India, Indonesia, Kali, 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 Kali. They can think that I am a god, that's okay, as long as they realize that what they are seeing me as is only coming from the eyes of what they are. And I bow to that. Every human being is the embodiment of God. When I look at this man, this man, this man, this woman, I see God. So if you ask me, do I believe in that God? Yes, because I believe in the human being.
India is very special in the sense that you find a great sense of unity. In fact, it's taken for granted.
The Kumbh is a celebration or a time that all of the different ways of understanding life can actually come together and reconcile their differences.
That is the power. That is the love. That is the understanding.
As the weekend approaches, the Kumbh Mela's entertainers are in full swing. Here, religion and carnival go hand in hand. Sadhus are a powerful presence at the Kumbh Mela. There are hundreds of sects, each with a distinctive dress and makeup code.
Like a policeman wears his uniform, this is our uniform in the name of God. There is red, there is yellow, depends on whom you worship. When someone dies, the body is burnt and it turns to ashes. And there are sadhus who smear the ashes on their bodies.
Like you wear clothes, we smear ashes on our bodies. This is our clothing. That's it.
We don't use oil or a comb. We just smear ash on our hair.
Anish Singh may look like any other schoolgirl, but in fact, she's an award-winning entertainer.
I'm going to perform in a Kumbh Mela, where so many people are going to see me. In stage only the common people are going to see, but in Akhada and Nikkumbh, especially in Kumbh, there will be people all over India, so it will be quite different. Many people can't do it, and then it's quite tough. So I thought that let me do something which is tough. I don't know how I balance, but I don't move my neck over here and there. Matlab, my neck is at the constant.
Luckily for Anish, her mother and manager is also a doctor.
At first, when I just started, then that time a small piece got in my thumb. Then I cried so loudly. Mama said, "What's there?" I said, "Mama, it's gone inside." Then she took it out.
It's not uncommon for entertainment tents at the Kumbh to have female impersonators and transvestite performers. Durga Prasad is a married man with 2 sons. He's built a career performing at major religious festivals like the Kumbh Mela.
The attraction of the Kumbh is bathing in the Ganges and singing devotional songs. So, should I wear the red one or the black one? The red one?
Backstage, Lalita's getting ready. She's 26 and has been a transvestite all her life. She is a Sakhi, part of a spiritual order of transvestites who are also sadhus.
I feel good when I wear a sari. I like dressing up and looking pretty. When I was a child, I used to love singing and dancing and playing the parts of gods and goddesses. My family tried to stop me from doing this, but I didn't listen to them because my heart was in it. So I left with my guru. I was only 14. I have been in this profession for 15 years. I am 22 years old. Whenever I dress up as a woman, I almost feel like a woman. People do tease me, but I ignore it. It's my job. Let them think what they want. This is my way of serving God, and it's also my profession. Whenever I sing and dance, it seems to me as if Lord Krishna is dancing with me. It feels strange but good. My Lord Krishna is dark, he plays flute and wears a crown. He wears earrings. He's very beautiful. Lord Krishna is my only love.
The Kumbh Mela site now covers almost 6 square miles. New streets spring up every night in this city that never sleeps. It's hard to believe that 2 weeks ago the Kumbh Mela site looked like this. Only a few scattered tents on the dried up bed of the river Ganges. Today it's one of the biggest cities in the world with a population of 10 million, and it's still growing. Every minute, thousands more pilgrims arrive from all over India. They're coming for the biggest bathing day of the Kumbh Mela, which takes place in 2 days' time. Yogis like Ek Bahu believe that punishing the body is an important part of the path to enlightenment. He's held his arm in the air for more years than he can remember. He will never be able to bend it again.
The holy men have done this meditation since ancient times, and I'm continuing this tradition. You cannot count the years of an austerity like this. It just goes on. By doing this, by following tradition, you gain knowledge. It is not like going to market, buying a guava fruit and eating it.
Parashishwa Giri is a rarity at the Kumbh Mela. He's an Italian sadhu and he's been standing night and day for 2 years. His guru, Deepak Giri, is another Italian sadhu.
Through austerity you develop, you produce spiritual fire, not ordinary heat. Radiance, not this atom bomb radiance, different radiance, which goes up and reaches the God directly.
People in the underground in London, they get crazy when they stand. This is like just, you know, not something that is strong on the mind. He is very strong now.
The star of the show is Keiko from Japan. She'll spend 3 days meditating without food or water in a 12-foot deep tomb. Keiko is demonstrating her attainment of samadhi, the state of spiritual bliss beyond all bodily needs.
I go deep stage of self, no detachment, no more sense. People must know you are son of God. You are not just a body. You are not just a mind. You must know something beyond mind and body. That I want to say, I want to demonstrate.
Keiko will emerge on the 24th to bathe among the millions in the Ganges. With the crush of people at the Kumbh Mela, there is always a danger that things can go wrong. Shivaji Malviya was in charge of the Kumbh in 1954 when disaster struck.
It was 5 a.m. when the Naga procession began. Horse-mounted police were posted. One of the horse's tails hit a Naga sadhu's face. That Naga started hitting the horse. And suddenly, people started running around. By the time the authorities could take control, the stampede became so bad that people who were near the Ganges were drowned. Thousands were swept away in the fast-moving current. I shall never forget that sight. The newspapers reported 4,000 deaths, but I believe it was close to 70,000. I just pray to God that the next bathing day on the 24th of January will pass without incident.
Without fire, see, if sun doesn't come out and it doesn't give the hotness to the world, everything is standstill. As far as Tantra is concerned, without fire, we cannot have any rituals at all.
Tantra was once a discipline practiced by spiritual masters and scholars. In the last 50 years, it's also been used for extravagant displays of mystical power.
The rituals are performed to have peace in the world, to have mukti, liberation, which every cult on this earth has its own goal, that is nirvana.
Mainstream Hindus might be skeptical of populist Tantra, but it remains a powerful belief in India's villages and even among some Westerners.
Mental peace, सारा public चाहता.
People want mental peace, but they have so many desires that it gives them mental tensions.
मानसिक रूप से बीमार हो जा रहा है. इसलिए
That's why I preach to limit desires, limiting needs.
आवश्यकताओं को सीमित.
Then people will be peaceful. They'll be free from disease. They'll be happy.
उसमें जो कमी होती है,
By the help of touch healing, whatever is missing in a person, we can treat.
जिसको बोलेंगे, उससे हम
We transfer the energy from our body into that person's.
शरीर से ऊर्जा को ट्रांसफर किया जाता है. हिंदू संस्कृति में
Evil spirits are mentioned in Hindu and every mythology. These spirits attack human beings. We can cure that through Tantra.
और अक्सर मनुष्यों पर अटैक करते हैं.
हम चले जाएंगे ना रहेंगे. छोड़ दो, बिल्कुल छोड़ दो.
Tantrics believe people can be possessed by evil spirits. Here, Ramesh ji performs an exorcism as the spirit's voice fights to maintain control.
पहुंचाएगा. हाँ, सही बता. 3 बार बोल. पहुंचाएगा तो हम जा रहे हैं. हम जा रहे हैं.
तुम्हारा खुराक पहुंच जाए.
It's the day before the biggest bathing day of the Kumbh Mela, and it's chaos here.
आदमी हम खाते हैं. दाल चावल और आटा, इसके बाद और कुछ नहीं लाए. बर्तन लाए, बिस्तरा भी.
Sharda Devi and Jagannath Negi are amongst the many hundreds of thousands of pilgrims streaming into the Kumbh Mela today. They've travelled for 18 hours non-stop from the Nepalese border.
इसका तो कोई ठिकाना नहीं है. जहाँ कहीं ठिकाना लगेगा तहाँ रहेंगे, नहीं बाहर रहेंगे. मेले में आए थे कुंभ के, अब क्या फल मिलेगा इसको तो भगवान जो दे हो जाए.
Mathura Das has just arrived from England. He converted to Hinduism in his youth, and for him the Kumbh Mela is unmissable.
It's really building up now. Sure.
The big thing of the Mela for me is everyone in normal everyday life is so busy and doing their things, they don't have time to just, sit and spend time with each other. The Mela is a coming together, a sharing. Yeah, you feel part of this huge family. This is actually my guru, who I met when I first left home and I went left and went to the ashram. And he came to America in 1966 at the ripe age of 69 and started this whole international movement of Krishna worship all over the world.
Mathura lived in an ashram for 7 years and is seeking a home away from home at the Kumbh.
Actually, Alonso and me, we arrived, we came to this place that I was expecting to stay, but we felt very uncomfortable there. All sorts of strict rules, like you have to be in at 10 o'clock, and we felt very trapped. So in the middle of the night, we just crept over the wall finding this way, you know. So I said, let's go and check this other Baba I know, secretly at night, because I didn't want to be seen there for some reason. And then we met Lakpati Baba, and he was so pleased to see us. He just brought us here. And so we were, from being quite stressed out, we felt very, 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 actually kind of overwhelmed, right?
We've been too looked after, yeah, too much.
Yeah.
Too good.
We felt now we've discovered the real Kumbh Mela.
Among the hubbub, it is an oasis of calm here at the Kalpavasi camp.
I have about 250-300 tents of Kalpavasis under me.
Pramod Sharma offers a package deal for his Kalpavasis. He provides religious leadership as well as comfortable facilities.
Durga Shivir is the oldest camp according to the Mela records. I know of about 4 generations, which means about 100-150 years, and that is in my lifetime.
The Kalpavasis aren't a family or tribe and meet only once a year. For that month, they're held together by their practice of religious ritual and diet.
There are a lot of rules for Kalpavas. We cook only once a day, sleep on the sands of the Ganges, and live like a brahmachari.
The brahmacharya are celibate, abstain from meat and alcohol, and bathe twice a day.
This is the water of the Ganges. She's our mother. My real mother also lives with me, but she can't come down to bathe, as she's more than 100 years old. I have been fetching Ganga water for her twice a day for her bath. I am here by the blessings of the Ganges, and I'm serving her too.
Keiko is a Japanese guru. She buried herself alive and came up today. Actions like this quickly become big news at the Kumbh Mela. It's a perfect place to sell your vision. Some are drawn to the Kumbh to bring a darker message to the masses. Sri Nath sees the ills of society as symptoms of the current age, the age of Kali Yuga, which is the final era.
I have written that this will be the last Kumbh because of unemployment, poverty, inflation, and the dowry system, which is murdering our women. Because of all this, there will be nothing to eat. There will be no humanity. Hinduism will vanish, and so no one will come here.
These critical views are not always welcome. Astrologer Yogi Prakash also believes in the reality of Kali Yuga.
It is described in the scripture. The special feature of Kali Yuga is diversity in the society. The word itself means the age of machine. But I am realizing that everything has become machine, even the human being. The value-oriented life has gone. The human values are declining like anything. Kali Yuga is also elaborated as Kala Yuga. Kala means fighting each other. Whatever the point it may be, but everybody is fighting. And because of no equilibrium, you will find an anarchy in the whole of the society. You know the Mahatma Gandhi, he was fighting for the equilibrium of the society. And he was in the search that any time there will be a society in the India where there will be no class. We are seeing that so many persons are devoid of the basic necessities of the life. A roof is not over their head, no proper clothing. They are suffering in this cold. You can see it very well. Whereas these sannyasins, They are enjoying the best luxury of the world.
Today was Moni Amavasya, the night of no moon, the most important day of the Kumbh Mela. For Hindu astrologers, this was the most auspicious alignment of stars and planets in 144 years. It's believed that 25 million pilgrims gathered to bathe in the Ganges. Away from the bathers in the Juna Kara camp, a young man faced a decision that would change his life forever.
I was in love with a girl for 20 years and she ditched me. It really broke my heart. So I decided to become a sadhu. My parents don't know I'm thinking of becoming a holy man. I hope I'm doing the right thing. If I do it, they'll shave my head. I am in two minds about the whole thing. I don't know if it's such a good idea to become a sadhu.
This morning, Karthik had to decide whether to become a sadhu within the Juna Kara warrior tribe. Sadhu discipline is strict. Vows of poverty, celibacy and obedience to the guru are for life. These new recruits had their heads shaved early this morning.
The mind is filled with indecision, and the only way a man can find peace is to go to a guru, a teacher. A holy man has to serve his guru physically, mentally, and spiritually. He has to devote himself completely. He renounces the material world. First, we make him a Mahapurush, which means one with a great soul. This is the first stage towards becoming a holy man.
The second stage of initiation takes place in the sacred river Ganges. The sticks they carry symbolize the self and will be cast away in recognition of entering a new life.
At this stage, he is completely absorbed in God. He sings devotional songs, meditates with his body, mind and soul.
A sadhu's life is undeniably hard, but ultimately it's a quest for complete freedom.
A man is born to fulfill three responsibilities: to the guru, to God, and to his father, his society. To achieve this, he goes through a ritual death, a ceremony in which he conducts his own funeral, and he begins a new life.
The population of pilgrims bathing today was so dense it could be seen from outer space. Scientists also observed unusually intense solar activity of a kind not recorded since the last Kumbh Mela 12 years ago. rich and poor, the highest and the lowest bathe together. The Shankaracharya of Kanchipuram is one of the holiest sadhus in India. This charge of the Juna Akhada included the day's new initiates. The newly initiated members of the Juna Akhada become Brahmins, the highest class in Indian society and the closest to God. The sacred thread and staff are symbols of a Brahmin. But this was only temporary. By the end of the day, they'll have bathed again. Karthik finally made up his mind. He went through with his initiation and joined the Juna Akhada.
I wanted to become a Baba, and now I have become a Baba. So I've made my decision through the blessings of my Guru. Whatever he wishes will happen. Nobody can stop it now. It's the blessings of Lord Shiva. Deeper than I know, I'm happy. I'm really going to enjoy my life. I'm going to roam around everywhere and be happy with the holy men.
The novices were led to the Ganges by their spiritual leader, the Mahamandaleshwar. By the banks of the sacred river, he taught them the mantra they will now use in meditation. Hindus believe that the soul is reincarnated into a higher social class if a person has led a virtuous life. Having become Brahmins, these sadhus threw away their staffs and sacred thread. This symbolizes their escape from the cycle of rebirth and their union with God.
जपले माला नाम की हरि भजन जो नहीं किया तो ये काया किस काम की आजा शरण में गुरु चरण में जपले माला नाम की